Hello and welcome to my 1000 Facebook likes and 10,000 YouTube subscriber special video. I am Wanja Gröger, also known as Nechtan, and first of all I would like to thank all my viewers for their support. For this little occasion I have prepared a video where I will show you my beginnings as a drummer, my development and how I reached the point where I am now. Enjoy! As a little child, I really enjoyed drumming on all kinds of things and getting on people's nerves. However, the drum set was not my first instrument. At the age of 4, I started taking piano lessons. I didn't really enjoy playing the piano, but at least I learned notes and the basics of music theory. At the age of 12, I started to play the drums in a big band school orchestra. But I just played with notes and I was really bored. So I never practiced at home and I was a really bad drummer. I never got very good at it. It was not until 2005, at the age of 16 or 17, that I watched a certain movie in the cinema, Alone in the Dark. And at the end of the movie they were playing two really cool songs. And that are Wish I Had an Angel by Nightwish and Synthetic Generation by the Death Stars. I was kind of shocked and really amazed by this sound and this kind of music. I never knew it before, and from this point I really got started listening to more metal. The first album that I bought was Once by Nightwish. At this point I realized that in this genre the drumming was often much more challenging and interesting for me personally than in any other genre. I really enjoyed this double bass stuff and the cool fill-ins. So my first influence was probably Jukka Neverlen, the drummer from Nightwish, and I really wanted to be able to play all the stuff that he played especially on the early Nightwish albums. Soon after I got into more extreme music and I discovered, for example, Dimmu Borgir, and I think my second CD that I bought was Death Cult Armageddon by Dimmu Borgir. Well, Nicholas Barker is absolutely kick-ass on drums, and I was absolutely amazed by his ultra-fast blast beats and his spectacular fill-ins. From this point on, I was really fired up and eager to play the drums. So I started to practice really much. In the beginning I didn't even have a double pedal, I just had one single pedal and a bass drum, and yeah, so I started. And the first video that I will show you is from this period of time. This video was taken in 2006. For some reason I played without shoes on my feet. Because I was very slow with my foot, I played only half of the bass drum notes while playing blast beats that were, by the way, very untight. At this point I was very lucky. I was reluctant to take any drum lessons because I was only interested in playing double bass and blast beats, and there are not many drum teachers who teach stuff like that. I tried some teachers, but I was totally disappointed and not convinced. But someday my mother somehow convinced me to visit a drums teacher named Peza Budnari. Peza Budnari didn't even know the genre of extreme metal. He wasn't able to play blast beats or fast double bass or anything, but with his very special technique he was able to play so fast. I was kind of shocked and amazed that this was even possible. He's able to play much faster than I am now actually. So I immediately thought, okay, if I would be able to play blast beats with this technique, it would be absolutely amazing. So yeah, I was obviously very convinced, so I started taking lessons from him. I was not a very patient student, and so I didn't learn the new techniques at once. I felt that I was quite good at blasting, but the one thing that I really sucked at was double bass drumming. So before changing the technique of my hands, I started with the double bass technique. You can see me here playing very slowly and very sloppy with a new technique. This was at this time my maximum double bass speed. This video was taken in 2007. As you can see, I developed my foot technique, and also this is the first time I remember focusing more on tightness than only speed. Still, I used my normal old technique with my hands. You will also notice that I play without ear protection. Really, don't do this at home. After a while I noticed that my ears were always beeping when I tried to sleep, and yeah, so I started practicing with ear protection, and luckily it went away. Here you can see me using single foot blast beats for the first time. In the following videos, you will see me using my special new technique with my hands for the first time. I didn't use it all the time, I just started to incorporate it bit by bit. Also, I wasn't able to do double stroke fill-ins, so I did all the fill-ins with normal single strokes. One very important step in this video is that I used a metronome for the first time. I just got it for birthday at this point. So finally, here it was. Black metal drumming, my very first YouTube video. As you can see and hear, my blast beats got much tighter. Also, I realized that with the new techniques, I gained so much more stamina than before, and it was really fun to just play and play without stopping. I uploaded this video in the beginning of 2008 and created my YouTube channel. I chose the name Morgan Van Helsing just because I like the name Morgan and I was a big fan of the movie Van Helsing at that time. Also in 2008, after almost 2 years of practice, I finally joined with Alex on guitar to start my first metal band. First we played some more death metal orientated music, later we switched to black metal, and then again switched back to technical death metal, and we named ourselves Project Knee. I still wasn't able to do double stroke fill-ins, so I actually stopped using fill-ins at all. As you can hear and see, I used very few fill-ins in the beginning. This was the second video that I uploaded to YouTube, and it shows a very early band rehearsal with Project Knee. As you will see in a moment, I finally figured out how to do double strokes. It was also with Project Knee that I made my first recording experiences. The sound was horrible and my playing was very untight, and in the end I was kind of shocked how untight I actually was. So from that point on I started paying much more attention to precision. Here you can see me practicing with my sticks on the floor. It really helped me to increase my blast beat speed and precision. I don't have video material of that, but my second recording experience was the first Elektron album. We recorded everything on one day for free in some youth center. And because the sound was so bad, we had to trigger everything in studio. I wasn't really satisfied with that, but of course still very proud at this time. My first live experience with a metal band was with Project Knee. I was extremely nervous, and so I kind of played everything faster than I would have actually been able to play. When I watched this clip after the gig, I was kind of really surprised how fast I actually was. After this one gig, we stopped to play live with Project Knee for a very long time. However, I continued gathering live experience with my second band Elektron. I remember that at this time I was always very nervous when entering the stage and afraid, and felt really insecure. This is a clip from 2010.
1 year later, I had become much more confident in live situations, and at this Elektron gig, I actually was required to play my very first public drum solo. It was like very spontaneous. Just some days prior to the gig, I was told, hey, it would be cool to have a drum solo, so please play a drum solo. So I just came up with some random beats. In 2012 I played my first festival gigs, and I learned a very important lesson in this time, and that was to set up everything as quickly as possible. This is a clip from the Metal Fest Germany East. And this is from the Hörner Fest 2012. In November 2012, I recorded drums for the second Elektron album. I'm still very proud of this record because we actually didn't use triggers except like 2 or 3 songs where we mixed in triggered snare. But apart from that, we didn't trigger at all. So everything that can be heard on the record is very, very real. This time we actually spent some money and recorded drums in the Soundcave studios. So we finally had a very good sound instead of a very bad sound. Also, I would like to point out that the 2 first Elektron albums were self-released and not under a label. So you can't just buy them in a normal store. Many people who had seen me live or had seen my videos were very curious about my foot technique, so one day in 2013 I decided to make a tutorial about the foot technique. Surprisingly, many people clicked on this video, and today it has over 900,000 views. Towards the end of 2013, I joined the band Heroes. This was a very important step for me as a drummer, because in this band I did not play blast beats or fast double bass, but more solid and slow rock-orientated grooves. This was important for me because I didn't like to be seen only as a blasting machine. Project Knee had been disbanded for quite some years at this point, but Alex and I decided to rejoin and work on new material. Here you can see us tracking some demo material in order to find new members to complete our lineup. After the great success of my double bass tutorial, I decided to make a blast beat tutorial. Somehow my father had the strange idea of incorporating an armored vehicle in the video, and well, so we did it.
But without understanding my blasting technique, you won't be able to understand the fill-ins. First of all, it's a very strange feeling to open up the hand when you do the first stroke, like this.
After the blast beat tutorial in 2014, my brother and I launched my Facebook page and he took over my social media management. In the beginning of 2015, I uploaded my next tutorial about my double stroke technique. The great advantage of this technique is that your double strokes can get really powerful and that you are not dependent on the rebound. I can do this on basically any surface. Around March 2015, I joined the black metal band Negator. I think this was one of the best things that could happen to me as a drummer, because this band and this extreme music really pushed me to my limits and beyond. It was also around this time that I chose Nechtan as my stage name. Here you can see some drum cam footage from the Lex Talionis tour with Negator. During this tour, I started to get really confident in my skills. beginning of 2016 I started helping out for Craving. Their drummer was sick, so I stepped in and I shot my very first music video. It was a big challenge for me because I didn't play the original drums for the song and I had to play as correctly as possible every note in order to make the music video look good. Soon after I had my second tour with Craving. Challenge yourself and learn to switch between exercises. After the tour, I made my next big tutorial featuring tons of exercises which help to improve precision at high speeds. This was the first big video my brother and I used our new light and sound equipment for. It is great for warm-up.
So here I am now. I reached many goals that I dreamt of when I started drumming, but still I feel like this is just the beginning for me. At this point I would like to thank some people that really helped me on my way as a drummer. So I would like to thank my mom because she made me take drum lessons. I also would like to thank my dad for helping me purchasing my first drum kit, and also I was able to practice in his basement for years. I would also like to thank my drums teacher, Peter Budnari. Obviously, without his techniques, I wouldn't be where I am now. I would like to thank Alex, the guitarist for Project Knee, and my first bandmate. I would like to thank Manuela for inspiring me with her lifestyle and her attitude of never getting enough. I would also like to thank Wolfgang Budde from the Sound Cave studio in Hamburg, Germany, because he really supported me when I was tracking drums for Elektron, and also I was able to shoot some videos at his place and he made an awesome sound. Further, I would like to thank my brother Micha. He shoots all my videos and also he manages my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. The next person I would like to thank is Richard, the ex-drummer of Negator. Because of him I got a practice space that is near my home and I am very thankful for that. Also I got into the band Negator because of him. Next I would like to thank my bandmates from Negator and especially Steve for pushing me to my limits. Finally, I would like to thank all the musicians I made music with, all my bandmates, and also all the viewers who clicked on my videos and who supported me. So, thank you all. So, I will continue making YouTube videos, and also there are some releases upcoming. From Heroes, Project Knee, Suicide Hotline, and also we are working on a new Negator album. Thank you for watching this video. Cheers, and see you next time. Satan. So, ich glaube, das war okay.